Hello, welcome back to Reading Success Academy. This is our word attack practice where we're going to break longer words down into smaller pieces to make them easier to read and easier to spell. So we're going to start in with today's word of the day. And we're going to go through this word as if we don't know what it is. So if you are not familiar with reading this word, that's okay. We're going to figure it out. And this is the same process you always want to use when you're trying to sound out a word that you're not familiar with. We call this the word attack the word attack strategy. All right, first thing you're going to do is look for any special endings like shun, chur, jeune, jur, or chasse. Any of those to make this a lot easier, because if you can find a special ending like that, it eliminates sounding out 4 or 5 letters depending on the special ending. Well, I don't see any of those in this word, so the next thing I'm going to go to is looking for any sound pictures which is 2 or more letters that work together to make one sound. So if you have 2, 3, or 4 letters all working together to make one sound, we want to circle those and make sure that we know what that sound is going to be, or at least know what we can try for that sound. So in this word, I see an right here. Now there's a lot of different ways to spell but this is a pretty common one. All right, anything else in here that might work together to make one sound? Not really, is there? All right, so look for any other clues that might help you sound out this word before we start from the very beginning. Did you notice that you have the letter I right after the letter C? Whenever you have an E, an I, or a Y coming right after the letter C, it's going to make the C a S sound. And that works almost all the time, except for in the word muscle. Okay, that one has, the C has a consonant after it, and we say S with that one, even though normally it would be a K sound with another consonant after it. All right, so we know we're going to say S when we get here. We're going to say when we get here. And we're just going to start from the beginning and start sounding this out until we have a chunk. A chunk is part of a word that has one vowel sound in it. So let's start right here. T, a, s, tas. Now there's a chunk. I'm going to draw a line right there. And then I'm going to start over sounding out on this side of the line. I'm not going to just keep going after I have this chunk. I'm going to make sure I know this chunk. I'm going to kind of separate that in my brain. I'm going to set it aside. I'm going to come back to it in a minute, but we're going to figure out the next chunk. And we could say I or E or I for this letter. We're going to go with I, and that's a chunk by itself. Now, if you wanted to include the T sound after it, you could. You could put the line in there or here, but I'll show you how that would work out either way. All right, so I'm going to put the chunk line right here. It is a full chunk, even if it's just one letter, because it's a vowel. Vowel, as long as it has a vowel sound in it, it's a chunk. So now we're going to take this chunk, which is I, and we're going to blend it with the first chunk. Tas-I, tas-I. And then we'll start sounding out on this side of the line. T-er-n, turn, turn. Now let's blend all 3 of those chunks together. We had taciturn, taciturn. And that's our word, taciturn. And in case you aren't familiar with this word, we'll take a look at the definition. It means someone who's reserved or uncommunicative in speech, saying very little. And you could use it in a sentence like this. The taciturn man rarely spoke, preferring to listen instead. So it's a great vocabulary word for you, and now you know a few of the little things that you need to look for. There are clues in words that you want to be aware of. See if you can find those and mark them up. Now that it's all marked up, it'll make it easier for you to spell too, because you already know you've got to bring attention to your eyes for this UR spelling of With so many spellings of you've got to know which one to use. And then also that you have the CI, even though it's a S sound there. All right, thanks for joining me today. I'm coming live every day, Monday through Friday, with a daily word of the day. I also do spelling classes and some advanced word attack skills. You can catch me anytime. Just make sure that you click the subscribe button so that you get notified when I go live next. and then you can check into whichever lesson I'm doing. So daily word attack skills, and then we also do some spelling. I'll see you next time. Bye.